Welcome to my kitchen. My name is Justin Loeb and this is the first official video of cooking with bugs. And yes, you did hear that correctly. This is gonna be cooking with bugs. And I figure football is happening this weekend. By the time this video comes out, actually football will be over. Super Bowl will be done. So I'm kind of a little late on it, but it's gonna be my own rendition of what chili is. And traditionally, there's a lot of meat that will be in chili. I will be replacing that meat with a mixture of crickets and mushrooms. So I'll get to that a little bit more later. Just welcome to my kitchen and let's get started. So we're gonna go over the ingredients for this chili. The chili powder is gonna consist of 1/4 cup smoked paprika, 2 tablespoons garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 2 tablespoons of onion powder, 2 tablespoons of oregano, 2 tablespoons of cumin, and another 1/4 cup of Ancho chili powder. For the vegetables, we're gonna have 2 medium onions chopped, 8 jalapenos chopped, 6 cloves of garlic minced, 2 bay leaves, 2 cups of vegetable broth, 3 ounces of tomato paste, and 40 ounces of tomato and puree. Then also, this is a highly debated thing. That depends on what side you are. I will be adding beans. So I have 2 cans of navy beans and 1 can of kidney beans. Last but not least, I will be substituting half of this portion. One will be getting 1 pound of hamburger meat. The other portion will be getting roughly 1 pound of a cricket and a mushroom mix. And can't forget, this is all gonna be together with a can of Reasonably Corrupt. It's a local beer from Great Red Brewery, made right here in Shreveport, Louisiana. All right, so we're gonna get this party started. Right now, I'm gonna heat up this pan. I like to use an avocado oil. It's a good neutral oil. Pour that in there. Now, I want to start off by sauteing my onions and my jalapenos. I'm going to do this for about 10 minutes. Wait till they're about translucent. And there we go. Let's get that in there. And just get it ready for that. So, I don't know. Doing this, it was always entertaining just to see people and always eating those chocolate covered crickets and just reading certain articles. I decided, I was curious about what flavors crickets really have and what bugs in general and how you could add them to things that you're cooking. So that kind of started my my interest, and then doing some research, I realized there's not actually that much out there talking about different meals that you can do with bugs. And well, of course, that got my brain going, and chili popped in my head. For some reason, the first recipe I wanted to do was chili. I don't know, I think it'd be something that'd be simple, where while you're doing this, you could really experiment with it. For the most part, there's gonna be a lot of flavors that are gonna be in here, so it won't be a very dominant flavor if it does even have a dominant flavor. I haven't actually done this with the crickets yet, so at the end of this, when I do take my first spoonful of this, it will be a genuine first reaction for this. That's the whole point of this. I want to experiment, have fun, see what could possibly be good and what isn't really good. So we're gonna let this saute for about 10 minutes and then we'll come back and add the garlic. All right, so take a look at this. Oh, it's beautiful. And oh, it smells so good. Just take a look at that. Oh yeah, now it's time to add the garlic. This won't take nearly as long. I'm just gonna put this in here until it really starts getting aromatic. And it's really, as you can see, sticking to the pan. I don't know. Chili's just one of those foods you gotta absolutely love. It'll warm you up. I personally love mine stupid hot. I am the only one in my house that loves their food stupid hot. Which is, I'm not sure. I always thought the South was really good on their spices until I met my wife. She can't handle any spices. I'm from the North and from Pennsylvania, and I can handle spice. I love it. I need to be sweating, crying, and that's how I like to make my chili, but unfortunately I can't make my chili that way until after I make it, and then I have to make it all separately. So, okay, all right, now this is about ready to put in all the spices and the tomato paste. Now, after we put this in, we're gonna stir it around until it really gets like a dark rustic color and it starts sticking to the pan. Now, I did want to say, now I add the smoky paprika for the purposes that because I'm not using meat for half this batch, I want to kind of add like that meat flavor to it, and this is what this will bring to it. It's kind of like a little bacon that kind of substituting because I'm adding the mushrooms and the crickets. Also, I just love smoky paprika. To tell you the truth, I didn't know what smoky paprika was until a few years ago. I was watching Alton Brown, and he was doing that just on chicken breast, and it just opened up my world. I had no idea what it was. All I knew was they're just regular paprika. And Ancho chili powder. This is not a chili powder. Well, it is a chili powder. It's an Ancho chili powder, but it's not the chili powder that you're normally buying at the store where it just says chili powder. This is actually, I just ground this up and used my dehydrator and made my own, well, Ancho chili powder. So let's mix all this up. It's already sticking. No other reason why I decided to start cooking with bugs is I have one of those weird stomachs where I can almost eat anything. I think in my entire life, the only thing I was not able to fully eat was durian fruit, and I actually tried it 3 different ways, and I just couldn't stomach it. I think I made like a custard out of it. I ate it just fresh, and then I tried making ice cream out of it. All 3 times, it was not working for me. It wasn't until about a month ago when I was at an Asian market here, and they had it as a dessert form. It was like a little pie. It was actually really good. But other than that, for the most part, I can eat about anything. So why not start eating bugs? Also, they're not that weird once you start understanding them. And this is going to be the whole purpose of what I'm going to be doing here is just bringing out why you could start actually eating insects. All right, so now it's getting real dark. It's starting to stick to the bottom. At this point, we're going to do a Southern jalapeno sauna. Oh wait, this is my beer. I'm sorry. 1 second. Here we go. This is the beer for the chili. It's giving me a lot of steam. It's going to get really hot. There we go. Now mix this until it's fully incorporated. Now, a lot of people will use like a Budweiser or something like that. I am a dark kind of beer kind of guy. So that's why I decided to use it in my chili. Actually, I'm a Scotch kind of guy, but I think pouring a half bottle of Scotch in here would be kind of expensive. I'm not really making a barbecue sauce. All right, so now I'm gonna sit this in here for a couple minutes. We're gonna let it not dehydrate, but we're gonna let it evaporate. And we'll come back to it in a few minutes. We are on the home stretch. Look at this. Ah, it smells so good. Oh, and I'm gonna throw it everywhere, I guess, apparently. So now this is gonna be the last part where we're gonna be adding the tomato, the vegetable broth, the beans, and then I'm gonna separate it. So let's add all this first, get it all fully incorporated. I'll fill this baby up. And I'm sorry if you don't like beans in your chili. You don't have to put beans in there. If you want to make a vegetarian chili, that's also perfectly fine. This recipe can be used either way. As far as I have it so far, it is complete vegetarian. And this is something that's up for hot debate. Technically, depends where you read it, crickets are vegetarian or vegan. So even once I add the crickets, it still could be vegan. I'm probably gonna get a lot of trouble for that, but it is vegan. Yes, but from what I've read, it doesn't have a nervous system.
But honey is not vegan.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, it's a hotly debated thing. See, we're gonna argue about this while I'm recording. I don't care, we can debate it.
It is considered vegetarian or could be considered vegetarian.
Wait, wrong terminology. Wrong terminology. Sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I'm wrong. So it could be vegetarian. I'm sorry. Corrected. I could edit this out, but I'll just leave it in. All right. That's all in there. Not as scary. Add the tomato. Oh yeah. Stir that in there. God, this smells good. Now, how this chili is, it doesn't initially have a bite to it when you eat it. So just keep that in mind, it builds its heat. And then the most debated part of this chili, the beans. Mix that in there. Once I get this fully mixed, I'm gonna spoon out some of this. I'll be adding the crickets and the mushrooms to this pot right here. Let's not try and get it everywhere like I just did. Make a mess. All right, there we go. Should be a good portion. And the meat to here. Mix it in. And, well, let me just get all this mixed up. All right, and because I don't know where my mitts are, I have to use 2 rags to transfer. So transferring both these pots to the stove. Should have turned that off there. We're gonna do it at a low simmer. So we'll be back at about after an hour. We're gonna take a little bit of an educational break while we let the chili simmer, and we're gonna dive into a little bit on why I'm replacing beef with crickets. And just kind of explain just how it's not actually that crazy. I know many people in the Western culture fear the cricket, and there's actually nothing to fear about them. Just to start things off, this is 100 grams of beef, and this is 100 grams of crickets. Starting with the beef, you have close to 300 calories in this little block right here, 21 grams of fat, and only about 26 grams of protein. Compared to the cricket, there's 21 grams of protein, 5.5 grams of fat, and this is actually only 121 calories. Now, it might seem like a lot. Please take into account this isn't the powder, this is dehydrated, this is frozen crickets. Now, what makes the crickets unique compared to the beef is that there's something that they offer that this beef doesn't, and you generally don't find in many proteins like this, and it's called prebiotic fiber. Now, to kind of explain what prebiotic fiber is it's the undigestible fibers that are in food. As it travels through the intestines, it becomes fermented. So when it reaches the colon, let's grab this little board over here. It reaches the colon where you have probiotic colonies. What the prebiotic is doing is it will feed the probiotic colonies, making them stronger. What that actually means for you though is you have better health and you have a reduced chance of disease. So let's get back and let's see how this chili's going. All right, welcome back to the grand finale. We have both chilies that are completed, and as you can see, they look really pretty and really delicious. So a couple things I forgot to mention, to add the bay leaves into it. I do that right there at the end. Also, if you want to use salt and pepper, use however you would like it. I'm a person that I don't like much salt in my food. I like the other flavors. I know salt amplifies the flavor that's in there. I'm just not a personal fan of it. I don't know. I'm a health nut and I just believe in low sodium. So with that being said, also stay tuned. I'm going to be having a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed my first video of cooking with bugs. I know I had a lot of fun developing this recipe from nothing. I was just starting to throw stuff together and I'm hoping it turns out good. Like I said, this is actually the first time I'm doing it with the crickets fully cooked into it. So not sure how this is gonna turn out. We're about to find out. And all right, let's dig in. All right, this is just a regular chili. I already know how this is gonna taste. And it's gonna be delicious already. I know that. Get some avocado in there. No, like I said, this is kind of a mild. It'll slowly build the flavor. And you can get every bit of, you can taste everything. Add a little bit of cilantro too. I like to add that. I'm a fan of cilantro. I know there's people that don't like cilantro. They're weird. But that's my wife. Delicious. Now, look at them. The crickets all in there. Oh yeah. Here we go. Also, I roasted some and stuck them on top just for a little crunch, just in case. Okay, initial bite was the mushrooms. I used baby portobello mushrooms. And that was actually the first thing I got with this. So cut back a little bit on the mushrooms, but I can't tell they're in there. All right, well, I'm actually gonna go finish this bowl off. I challenge y'all to get out there and experiment. I'll have some links below showing where you can actually get yourself some insects from local farms. And I'll see y'all next week.